coming in from M5 was
so
a
they
bit
want
of a nuisance.
They want to grab that Sona, and Zilean being banned as well. So Evelynn, Zilean starting off at the same thing. They don't want to see those really strong Alex H picks, and both of them can be game-changing. I mean, it really is insanely difficult to deal with that Zilean in those mid-game fights, and Evelynn, once she gets farmed, all of the damage and kiting and whatnot that she provides.
So there are a lot of first pick options. So you got Sona, you got Shen, you got Rengar still in the mix. Ezreal is still a fantastic first pick. You can also have Alex just like take out the Orianna.
Yeah, and I don't know that we would see them first pick the Ezreal, and they actually ban off Sona themselves. So M5 they ban out Sona because there's a number of strong picks left. So they know Shen's open, Rengar. And those are, the big ones. I mean, there's a couple others that are really strong as well, but Alternate has a tough decision, and I think they have to ban Shen. But at the same time, Rengar is just so insanely powerful.
Yes.
That's scary. Like, I mean, maybe they ban Rengar. Yeah, so they ban Rengar to deal with what and Jace is open actually as well, so they get Jace. So Alternate will probably grab, Shen here. So Shen, Jace, it's a pretty even lane.
Yeah. So and you do have equal amount of harass. You got Shen. He can build pretty tanky. He's got that shield, but Jason with that ranged harass can also be a bit of a nuisance. But we'll see. We could also see a lane swap coming again, and we would get both of those champs, both Shen and Jace. They do relatively well in the 2v1.
Yeah, no, they are very common 2v1 champs.
Yep.
So there is the potential for that there. I don't know. We'll kind of see. I do, think it was probably the right decision to get rid of that Rengar because it's kind of the demon versus the demon you don't.
Right.
And they do go ahead and grab that Shen. So that's kind of expected. But we'll see if they grab the Ezreal here or if they, hold off, grab something else. They could grab Nunu. If they don't grab Nunu, there's a high probability that M5 could grab Nunu or Zyra support. I don't actually remember if I've seen M5 or Genji or Ghosty Pepper run that Zyra support, but I think he has, and I know he does run lots of supports like Sona where he can transition into like an AP build or something.
Yep. Oh, there you go. You got a Janna pick. Insta-lock. Right there on Ghosty Pepper. So it's been a while since we've seen a whole lot of Janna support, also let alone one with Clairvoyance.
Well, you usually don't see bans on both Blitzcrank and Sona, so it gets into that deeper pool of supports. And without having to deal with the hooks or with the really strong harass that Sona provides, Janna becomes a little bit stronger. And Janna, her early game, her laning phase, isn't that great. It used to be unstoppable, but it's not the greatest anymore. But she's really a late game support now. All of the CC that she provides really just can instantly win you or can easily win you fights later in the game with the disengage, with her ultimate, with the whirlwind, the shields and everything.
Yep. This could be a little bit way out, but I think it deserves mentioning though. Is there a possibility that this could be actually an AP Janna and Alex H?
No. I mean, yeah, I guess they could, but I don't know if I've ever seen Alex H play AP Janna. They could, but it's not likely at this point. So we'll see. I would love to see AP Janna. That would be fun.
I love it. I'd love it.
But yeah, we'll see where they go with that. Nunu definitely the expected pick there, and I think one of the concerns that they're going to do with the Nunu is if they do pick the Nunu, they might not have the hard initiation that they want. So they switch it up for Lulu at the last second.
Yep.
Malphite as well is going to be really strong, and Malphite actually is the perfect pick because it counters out some of the difficulties they're going to have with M5, which is that M5 is going to easily win initiation. Or I'm sorry, kite. They're going to be able to poke. They're going to be able to kite. And it's going to be tough for Alternate to force a fight. And so having that Malphite, it allows them to lock someone down. It allows them to take that fight for the win.
So now things are getting a little strange here. If this Xin Zhao pick is picked up here, it's just a matter of we may actually see an AD bot lane Jace here.
Yeah, it could be a support Jace or an AD Jace. We've seen both in the past, and that just really goes to show how strong he is as a champion. But they do swap up, and so Katarina definitely works with their team. They lock in, and now for AD, they have a couple of options. They could go with like a Corki, would be really strong, kind of standard here. But I wouldn't be surprised to see them go with the Kog'Maw again. I keep on picking it, but we'll see. They go with the Ashe. So Ashe Janna is one of the strongest level 1 and level 2 lanes in the game. You know, the quick burst that you have is incredibly strong, but you need to press it. If you don't press it level 1, then the lane actually becomes weak very quickly. You know, it's a tough lane. They can play defensively and farm, but really the lane doesn't do a lot. But then later in the game, it gives them that great kiting again. So they're using that Ashe for the kiting, and if they can burst people down with the Ashe arrow with Jace, it might allow Katarina to try and snowball fights.
And also remember too, you know, the reason why they're so powerful, you know, at those early levels, because especially the first shot that Ashe ever makes into a game. Remember, you do have that passive. It is a guaranteed crit. You throw the shield from Janna down to Ashe, you get the bonus AD. On top of that, it is huge. It is huge damage so early on. And then Ahri, going to be the last pick up here on alternate. So Forelord going to be throwing her there in the mid. You got you have some great initiation. You have some great initiation here on alternate, but you have some good peel. You got some good disengage though, especially just with that Janna here on M5. So to help try and help clear the way for Katarina to just go crazy.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's really insane, the poke from Darian, and then Alex Ich, what he can do in those fights. That's going to be really dangerous. Yeah. And I'm curious if he's going to lock in that teleport, because that would be really interesting to have that split push Jace. He really does thrive as a split pusher, and it helps to counter out the Shen. So that really doesn't make it that surprising. We'd actually seen, I'm trying to think, I think it was Fnatic versus Curse. Yeah, it was Fnatic versus Curse.
He switched it.
And, yeah, so switching last second. Okay. But not having that teleport, it's not that common to go against the Shen, but it'd be interesting. But Fnatic versus Curse in the finals of our IPL5 EU qualifiers, I think it was Curse was actually running Jace, and they played versus Shen, and they actually did a really nice job of positioning so that when Shen was trying to split push, they were able to chase Shen back into the fight. Jace he chased Shen through the jungle until they were close enough to the fight that Jace actually had the positional advantage and was able to join the fight. So it turned into a 5v4 against Shen, which is unusual. It's usually a 4v5 in Shen's favor. But we'll see where they go with this. Kerp, he's going to go with that top lane. It's an even lane Jace versus Shen. Jace has the advantage of being able to push really aggressively. Shen can't really do anything to Jace. So he can harass him a little bit early on, but it's going to be ineffectual. And the lack of pushing capabilities on Shen leaves him vulnerable where Jace can push him up to the tower and then roam. Yep. And we might see a lot of roaming out of Darian to try and help that jungle in this game.
And if you do want to go back and actually watch that match later on in, so it's Fnatic versus Curse EU. It was actually game number 1 for that final. So be sure to check out our YouTube. Check that out. We have all of our old VODs up on there too if you ever want to catch up on anything that we have had here on stream. YouTube.com/IPLLoL. Taking a quick look here at all the runes and masteries while we're getting on in. Most of it is pretty standard stuff so far. You guys go back, if you've missed it before, we'll go back and look at Genji's rune page. It's going to be the same that he had game number 1. Pretty standard stuff coming in there. Let's also take a look at Leo, because he didn't run the GP10 runes. He's still not running the GP10 runes, actually, even on Lulu.
Yeah, so he wants that that early survivability, and he's still going to have some gold pretend from those utility masteries, but that's not that surprising actually, because Lulu as a support, her biggest weakness is that she has no disengage really. You have the movement speed from the W, but it's really easy to get caught out of position as Lulu, and the burst damage level 1 from Janna and Ashe is insane. I mean, they're going to be able to take Lulu down to half, even with those HP runes. So every little bit helps, and I don't know, that'll kind of work out for them. So that's going to be kind of interesting. I'm curious though if we might see a double lane swap if both bot lanes go top. Just kind of anticipating one or the other to do it. And Lulu, she has that pushing capability. She has the great harass. We've seen the Ezreal Lulu lane in the past. It's a really strong harass lane. You can poke people down with both Ezreal and also the Lulu Glitter Lance. And we'll see what alternate can kind of do. Forelord, he is known for his Ahri. So, if he can get that Ahri action going, if they can pick up some fights with Malphite, then they can maybe make some things happen. Yeah,
starting up those fights, if you have a Malphite ult, just follow it up with all of the bursts coming from Ahri, that can be huge. So if we take both the AD and support from both teams, so we take Ezreal and Lulu and Janna and Ashe, and we just isolate them too. If there's if there's a tower race, try and take it out first. Who would actually win out in that race?
I have a feeling it would be Ashe and Janna, but I really don't know. It would be almost even. Actually, it would probably be Ezreal and Lulu, because Lulu has the wave clearing capabilities, and Ezreal has the passive for some more attack speed. But it would really be close. evenly against a laner, it's Ashe and Janna. Like they're favored when they're playing against a laner because of Ashe's the damage from the Janna shield and then Ashe's range. It means that Janna can poke down the tower while being safe, but Ezreal can't really do that quite as much because he's of his short range. So it's in that regards, Ashe and Janna have the advantage there, but it should be really even. It really is too close to, so it comes down to other factors.
So we'll see. We will see if we see those lane swaps. We'll see if there is a race. We also have the mid matchup. We got Katarina versus Ahri. There's still also plenty of CC here onto alternate to try and stop that Katarina ult too. I mean, you got charms, you got knockups, you got taunts, you got it's going to be Wicked Lose, so you can turn her into a kitty even. So we'll see. We'll see what that comes in later on. We'll see how it all relates. But here we are, game number 2. M5 is up 1 game, so if they win this one, they will beat out alternate and move on. But if we have alternate winning this one, we will actually see a game number 3 between these two already qualified teams for IPL5.
Yeah, and the key is going to be seeing what M5 does right now. They're just playing defensively, so they're just splitting up once again. Darian using the acceleration gate to get really quickly up in the top. He doesn't want to allow any early engages. And Ghost.Pepper, actually, he does use the CV. I think he used it on, I think he caught them, alternate, coming from their red, but I'm not sure on that. So they're actually set up bot, and they will be safe there. But alternate moving in for the blue steal. There's no real contention. They should be able to get that pretty easily.
Yep. There you go. There's the Glitter Lance to start things off. It's like, okay, we didn't hear that ding. A lot of skill shots do that too. If you make impact with someone, it does make a different sound effect. Just to let you know, you may not actually have vision, but there are those audio cues just to make sure, just to see if there's anyone in there. But they're more than happy to just go in, get a ward over in front of the blue, and then GTFO. Also noticing here on the early...
A lot of wards, so...
Quite a bit.
I'm curious.
This is, yeah.
They might go for a red invade. Like, that's to put, down the ward at the blue, and then also in your jungle. I guess at this point in time they were going to just sit back, so they're just going to sit back and get their blue. But really, it shows kind of they're scared of M5. They're scared. They're like, why are they running CV? What is Diamond Prox going to do? So they're concerned. And M5's just running kind of a standard opening, nothing really special. But they're concerned. And Shen actually going up top, he's going to start off and take those mini golems. And that's going to allow him to have a nice little advantage over Jace, though he is going to take some damage off of it. And
Darian will be spotted actually taking the raise, but everyone from alternate is 2 out of position. They're all concentrating here, helping make sure that Malphite gets his blue, and there's nothing they can do to actually stop him from taking the big blue Wraith, and there it goes. And also to mention too, to go on further about that fear, about the defensive mode, Kerp going to be going in top lane, not Boots 3 pots, but Cloth 5 pot. Already burning 2 of them just to take those small golems. And Lulu, when you usually see her go all in, buying a whole bunch of wards early on, you start off 5 wards, 3 pots, but all 3 of those pots were health. Usually when you see Lulu trying to get aggressive, you usually see a nice split between health pots and mana pots just so you can keep on throwing down those glitter lances. We do not see that here.
Yeah, I mean, the ward coverage will be really nice for them, and I think they're just concerned about the early harass from Ghost.Pepper and Genja, and it really is strong with that Ashe-Janna combo, and particularly since they want to be aggressive. If you're looking to be aggressive, you need more health pots because you're going to exchange damage evenly, and they want to have the advantage of the healing advantage. And so we see both junglers setting up in the top lane, just keeping an eye on that top lane, see if anything's going to go on. Diamond Prox is not looking for a gank, he's just watching to see if Cotton comes in while they know Jace is being aggressive.
And there is a CV just to make sure that everything is clear on out. And Ghost.Pepper does get the spot down on to Malphite.
Diamond Prox is going to try and steal a Wraith, see if he can do it.
He's going to try, but no, there is the wave.
Right, there's the same non-cleared Wraiths from earlier.
So he didn't quite clear those, so it's just Cotton discovering, oh man, my blue Wraith is gone, that jerk.
Yeah, but Diamond Prox, he's trying to get in on Ferellenlord, and Alexich jumps in, uses the exhaust as well, the flash from Ferellenlord, a flash from Diamond Prox. They're going for this. They're going to have this kill. First blood going down on Alexich.
Nice. Very well done. You used 2 summoners on it, but it's okay. It's fine. You got the extra gold from that first blood credit. Very well done from M5. They're very early on in the mid. Lee Sin, very happy with that. You got Malphite. Cotton is covering down the mid too, just waiting, just killing time for Ferellenlord to actually get back. Darian, though, pushing top lane like a boss, doubling up Shen on creep kills so early on, and that is one of the disadvantages too of going Cloth 5 pot instead of Boots here in the top lane, is you're not as mobile. You cannot get away from that kind of harass as easy, and you're not as mobile. You can't stick your neck out in lane as far as you normally would because you do not have as many escape options. You're not as mobile.
Yeah, but the cloth armor, it helps protect him from that Jace harass, and really Jace is doing minimal damage, but it's just that Darien is constantly applying that pressure.
Right. And no more potions.
You see how that cloth has kind of helped him. He's already pretty low, but maybe keep him a little bit in this lane a little bit longer, and I don't know. That's a nice advantage for Jace. So he's able to take an early lead in that lane and actually go Genja, Ghost Pepper. They're waiting. They're going to get Leo from Korea as he walks into the brush, gets some nice damage there. The Whirlwind to get them back out. But Genja, even though Ghost Pepper took some damage, Genja's in a great situation. He's still full health. Metalex is kind of low, and there's no heals from the support. But Malphite coming up top. Kerp as well, engaging onto Darien. We'll see if he can get out of here. He has his flash still.
He is trapped, and he had a
Kerp's close to dying, though. Kerp can't fight him too much.
Darien is just closing the gap, making sure you just get far away from Malphite as possible, just so you can edge up. Meanwhile, back in mid, familiar what we saw last time, and Pharrell gets chunked out again. Lee Sin, that presence from Diamondprox there in the mid. Plenty of damage to get the second kill onto Ari.
Darien, he wants to hit that long-range Q. He is able to hit Kerp, but not quite able to pick it up. And Diamondprox coming up. They could actually dive this if they decide to. Diamondprox, at the very least, he knows he has free damage against Cotton-X, and he has no fear. He's just chasing them in, and now they're both low, and they're surrounded. I wouldn't have been surprised to see Alex Ich come up into that top lane to try for these kills, but at the very least, Diamondprox is going to get it, or try for it.
Alex is actually going down bot, but we'll see what comes from that in just a second, because Kerp is about to be pushed out of the wave, is pushing on in. So we actually have simultaneous action here down in top and in bot. Alex is actually waiting, but he is warded out in the bush. He will be caught. But there is Diamondprox with the kick. Well, a little bit more damage, and there you go.
Oh, he's not going to get out.
No, the turret. But Cotton-X getting the credit for that kill. So he's going to have a little bit more gold, a little bit more experience based off that. But it's what it is. It's going to set up a better case for Darien, further on down the line. That's another kill on Kerp's credit. He's going to have a hard time. He has to come back in a lane. That's a lot of time wasted. And Darien can do his best to try and just push the lane into tower and have that deny another wave of creeps.
And that's why Cotton-X sitting there. But there's the teleport from Shen. Darien's done. He's done. There's the taunt. They pick up the kill. So I was going to say, Lee Sin trading for Shen, it puts Darien ahead in the lane. But Malphite...
it did put him.
It put him ahead. But he needed to hit the wave into the tower because otherwise Shen was going to get a nice juicy minion wave when he came back. That'll catch him up. So he was trying to push the wave, but Malphite did a perfect job. He was zoning him off the wave and not allowing him to kill it, even though he was taking free damage. And then all of a sudden, Darien just... caught unawares, wasn't really expecting the Shen ult to be coming in.
It was like, oh damn, you're 6. I forgot you were 6. That sucks. And he already burned his flash earlier, so he had no escape. He had no means to get out. Nice, smart from Ghost Pepper. Throwing down, you can throw it on the. We just need the mana for shield. Shield come back up, help out Diamondprox, help him take out that dragon a little bit easier. A level 5 dragon, pretty much nearly on his own. Just a little bit of help from Jan. Diamondprox taking that pretty damn early.
Yeah, and it's actually if you get the second level in the shield as opposed to the Q, which is what he did. And getting that second level in the shield, it allows you to have enough survivability against that dragon. But he also had Ghost Pepper to watch out for him, where he could shield over the wall if any thing was threatening. And that's always a really cool play. But Lee Sin is very strong at taking those dragons early on. Once you have that Madreds, it just really helps you out. And Kerp, now he wants to apply some pressure, and this is where the cloth armor helps him. He can dive in, he can get some quick damage onto Darien. Darien needs to get that slow harass onto Kerp, but Kerp can get a little bit more of that burst.
Oh, how the tides are starting to turn, but Alex, he was wandering up down to top, did get spotted out by the ward in the tri-bar, so Kerp backs off accordingly and is trying to return back to mid, but Malphite and Ari got a little bit of vision on him, but he will be just fine.
Yeah, almost getting caught off, but he's able to back out of there. And he's doing pretty well so far. He's slightly ahead of Ari, has the kill, has a little bit of a CS advantage. And Malphite hasn't really, been able to put a lot of pressure on that mid, but a lot of it's because he's been sitting up top, making sure that Shen gets off to a good start, and that'll really help him out. But Darien knocking back Kerp once again, we'll get some damage there. We'll kind of see. Diamondprox as well, he's been focusing on the top lane. Not much pressure on the bot lane. He knows that Ashe and Janna, they're going to be able to kite pretty effectively, but they're going in for the kill, the knockback, the kick. Nice. Diamondprox picks that up really easily, actually.
Almost too easy. It's just like, oh, you already smacked. Well, I'm going to kick you into a tree. And whenever you have an ability like that, like Lee Sin's kick, where you're going to try and kick someone away, if they do meet with a hard wall, it just kind of keeps them there. So you kind of translate, the remaining time translates into a hard stun, so it's perfect. And one more attack off that, it was plenty of time to get the kill down onto Curb. Alex Itch trying for some damage here on Ferelnlord, but losing that exchange pretty quickly. Did use the ult in that.
I think it's interesting that Darian's going for that red pot again, and that's not something you usually see a lot. But you know, it allows him to. He knows that he's going to win the harass exchange with Shen, and so he's keeping it up to give him a little bit of a boost of health. If he's ganked, he doesn't want to go down without a fight. So that's not something you usually see, but it's an interesting playstyle.
But there is the arrow straight on into Metal X, but the Q will not be landing its mark, but Diamondprox can still get a slow something, anything, shielding on backwards just for a little bit extra health, a little bit of sustainability, but keeping Metal X and Leo from Korea pushed back down at their own tower here in bot. Going back up the top, you got Kerp still looking to trade with Darian, but there's the taunt coming on in. A little bit more damage.
Katarina's going to go for Ferelnlord. He's close to picking up this kill. He has his ultimate. It's up in like 10 seconds, but not quite able to get it, and he actually uses his exhaust as well onto Ferelnlord.
But there's flashes being exchanged back in bot. You do have Cotton-X now down here to try and help. Did use his ultimate, but not going to be getting a whole lot off of that one. But now you see Kerp actually meandering on down. He does have his ult back up. So Ferelnlord, he does not have his ult, but he could try for something like a flash charm or something else to that effect, but decides to actually back off. It's not quite worth it. Wait for Alex Itch to push up a little bit further, or at the very least wait until Ari's ult is back
Malphite's going to engage on Janna, though. He's really close to being able to get that, not quite able to get in range in time. Janna barely gets out of there. So he does come bot, but not quite able to force it. And Darian still putting the pressure on top. Yep. And he's you know, winning his lane pretty significantly right now. And he's able to pull a farm advantage. Like, he's just going to continue to pull ahead of Kerp right now.
Yeah, the farm is strong with the Jace up
Another
20.
kill on Shen coming up.
Potential another kill, because now this time going to be Alex Itch helping on out. Going, man, and Kerp,
you're going the
wrong way. How unfortunate. Does have to taunt just to get out of the distance. Oh, one, ignite. Oh, that's the passive. Come on, something, anything. There you go, Alex. No fear. Doesn't care about the tower at all. Gets that kill and backs off. And just got to hurry and get back into safety before Malphite. Is he going to be coming on up? No, he's just happy taking his own race. But he does have an Oracles now to try and prevent some of that ward coverage.
And that's the tough thing with leaving Shen on an island. You can't. It's tough to pick up kills with Shen, so a lot of times you just want him to farm up there, but it leaves him vulnerable to those kind of ganks and that kind of pressure, because you don't usually have jungler support for the top lane Shen. So they've been taking advantage of that. 0-3 right now. He's behind in Jace in farm. Immensely. And the tower is actually taking a lot of damage. It's really close to going down. So Darian, he's going to have to back out here. He has to watch out. He doesn't want to allow Cotton-X to engage on him again. Shen's ultimate is up. Ari's coming as well. Jace, he didn't back off soon enough. Ferelnlord's going to take him down. Ferelnlord, he does have his ultimate. He's going to be able to get in there. Can he get in deep enough?
Oh, no. Could barely close the gap. And he's hugging the wall the entire time just to make it a little bit more difficult for Ferelnlord to actually get on in, and will make it back to his tower, safe and sound. But you have Diamondprox actually pretty close by, throwing down the
Alex is just trying to catch off Ferelnlord.
There is a pinch. You got the ultimate back up. He actually goes, the Shunpo brings him behind Ari to evade the charm completely, still looking to pursue and forcing the ult out for Ferelnlord. There's a Shunpo. You get the flash on out, and here comes Shen to help out, and now Alex is in a pretty bad spot. The Malphite ult keeping him popped up. Will he be able to escape? He does not have the flash up anymore, but meanwhile, you got Diamondprox trying to keep everyone away. Ferelnlord low, Cotton-X low, Kerp looking to run.
I think M5's going to win this.
There you go. You got quick burst coming in from Alex Itch. There's a Shunpo once again.
Oh my gosh, the jukes.
The jukes coming on in from M5. Very well done. You got the quick kill. They're still not quite out of the woods, but I think they're pretty safe for now.
Diamondprox, he actually made a neat little play there where he shielded to a ward. He dropped a ward, shielded to it, and then knocked Ari over the wall and got her pretty low to set up that kill for Alex Itch. So Alex Itch was coming around the backside, and he knocked Ari over to try and set that up, and it worked out for them. So I'm surprised they were able to turn that around, but that's the mobility of having that Ari and the Lee Sin. It definitely worked out for them, and having the Katarina and the Lee Sin. Katarina is just like insanely good right now. I mean, she's really been popular. She has a lot of damage, but it's the mobility. You just kite in and out of fights to win those long exchanges.
Darian just with the cannon takes out the top tier 1. Kerp's going to be in a little bit of trouble here. But meanwhile, also down bot lane in the jungle, you got Cotton-X being chunked out huge by the Katarina ult. Just a little bit more damage. You may be losing that Oracles, and it is now gone. Ferelnlord has shown up a little bit too late to the party. Will not be hitting Alex with that charm. But Alex with those cool, and the Darian, meanwhile, top lane just manages to eke out Curp right underneath his own tower, right at his feet. Leo from Korea helping to run interference, recognizing the blue is now gone. They have to clean up the rest of the minions.
Oh, he's going back in.
He's still going back in. There's the Ash arrow square on it to Ahri's backside.
They have the refresh on Alex Itch's ult if they can get them out of position, but I don't think Alternate's going to want to go in on this.
Yeah, especially now with that ward, the critical ward that they needed. Now gone, courtesy of Janet and the Oracles. They cannot press that any further.
Yeah, but another dragon for Diamond Procs. They're going to take that fairly easily.
Yeah.
And just increase their gold lead. And they have so much pressure on the map. They know bot lane. They have an advantage in bot lane. It's been an even lane so far. Ash is actually out farming Ezreal, but it's a tough lane, and Ash can't be that aggressive. Cottonex coming up top. They should be able to get this. Cottonex, he has the ultimate. There's the taunt cut from Curp if he gets it any second now. As he turns the corner, there's the taunt.
There you go.
So they are able to get that, but the flash from Darien, he's going to get over the wall. We'll see if they can actually chase this because Alex Itch, he's come up to help him out, and so Darien backs off. But they have the pressure in the bot lane. They have the pressure in the top. Another kick from Diamond Procs. He's everywhere. I mean, he's just all over the map right now. And that pressure from Alex Itch and Diamond Procs, from the mid lane and jungle, allows them to split the top and bot lane. And alternate, they can't group and get the damage that they need. I mean, Malphite doesn't have enough damage on his own. He needs a team with him, and they can't group up right now.
Also, good play on Gozu Pepper there, using the Clairvoyance to actually get vision of the bot brushes just to make sure that they can secure that kill onto Leo. Very well done. Nice clutch play. Going to be going back. Very happy. And Katarina going on back already has the Haunted guys and the spell pen boost with the revolver to go on top of it. Going to be working for the Abyssal for that trinity of magic pen items. Going to be shredding a lot of that resistance later on. And meanwhile, you look at Ahri, still looking to get that Athene's. Has all the pieces, but just doesn't have enough money for the recipe quite yet. You also got some GP10s still being built here on alternate. And top lane, you got that Jace, pure, unbridled damage. You got the BF sword, you got a bunch of Dorans, and you got a longsword. Going to have a Phage pretty soon, probably working up for that Trinity, and it's going to be even harder for Curp to get away from that Jace if he decides to stay up there.
Yeah, I mean, it really is a dangerous situation because Jace is in complete control of that lane.
Oh, yeah.
Shen isn't as tanky as he would like to be at this point. He doesn't have anywhere near as much damage as Jace does. And Darien diving in on him once again with that blue buff. He has that poke. Curp has to back off. And that wearing down Curp, it protects him against these ganks. He's coming up, Cottonex, because he knows he can 1v1 Cottonex, and he can 1v and a half. He can 1v1 and a half against Cottonex and Curp.
He can take out Curp and a Shaco clone, or a LeBlanc clone. Just add those into the mix, and he can still be able to win that one. They're technically halves. And Darien is 2K ahead. He's 2K ahead right now of Curp. That is an insane lead to have, especially on someone like a Shen who you normally think as somebody who's tanky and is resilient.
Diamond Procs has bot, though. He's coming in behind. He's going to get the kick. Let's see who he's going to pick off.
Leo.
Going for Leo, actually. So, Leo, you're doomed. The Shen ultimate, they actually might be able to turn this around. The Lulu ultimate as well. It was just enough to keep him out of there. Let's see if they can get any kills, though. Janna zoning for them, and Genja trying to chase them down. Can't quite follow it up, but Ahri's here, and Katarina as well. Katarina could really quickly snowball this.
Curp trying to be a hero, looking for the taunt. We're trying to make plays, but Alex actually does get the kill down.
That's a triple for Alex coming up. Can he get it? No.
There you go, Alex. He's trying to just get away from tower range. One more poke, something, anything. Curp right there in the tri-brush does manage to clean up on that kill, but Metal X not in the best of positions either. Double kill for Diamond Procs and a nice cleanup. That is 4 for 1 for M5 down there in the bottom lane. Now Cottonex, hey guys, I heard there's a party going on. There is the Malphite. Oh, Genja may actually be going down here, does get the kill. But Diamond Procs still looking at 1v1. You got some support from Pepper, moral support, and a shield to help you tank that turret. And this kill should actually it's going to be a slow kill, but it's probably going to happen.
I don't know. Goes to Pepper. He can't take that much damage. One more hit, and actually he would have gone down. But I think Diamond Procs is going to have to back off. If he gets another Q, he can get this, though. There it is, the kill. Once he hit the Q, he knew he had him. And so Lulu trying to come in, but won't be able to get there fast enough. And Darien just still putting on the pressure in the top lane. Curp getting a little bit deeper.
Yeah, is he really doing this? He's trying to 1v1 the Lulu. He is actually
the shield.
But there's the shield from Janet to help keep him alive. Can he actually do this? There's a Q, and wow. I can't believe he did that. 200 health.
He's too good. It's the shields, the double shields.
Them shields, man.
Leo from Korea, he overestimated himself, and he was proven not worthy.
Our technical director, Alo, was actually laughing at that one a little bit. She was like, man, I can't believe that just happened. Alex right out in front, getting some harass damage down onto Shen Ferelnord, getting pretty low himself.
Alex, he does so much damage right now as Katarina. He can just poke in and out, and he's been juking Ferelnord's charms all day.
So good. It's just a little bit too good. We got some chat going on here, too. Already going for it. CV Oracle, how can I counter it? I don't know if you can.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can. That is just...
That's one of the best things about the CV is that a lot of times you want to catch off the Oracles when they're trying to clear the wards, and you just kill them in the jungle. But CV, you CV the brush, now you're face checking safely.
There you go.
Now you're thinking with portals.
Now you're thinking with clairvoyance. You got Diamond Prox turning on beast mode to 11. Once again, here you got Ferelnord with the wild growth. Dancing back and forth, looking for those dashes. There is the Asho coming on into Kynex with a slow on the curb as a little bit of an added bonus. The Malphite ult is not up. He cannot get away nor engage here, and the pressure continues. More shields. Diamond Prox goes straight on in, right underneath the tower. That is a kill.
Alex, it's diving in the back. He gets another kill, a double. Can he pick up the triple? He barely comes up the backside. Genja's actually taking the turret for a second there. As they come in, the triple kill for Alex.
And the ace.
Really, I mean, they just 4v5'd them. And the entire time, Metalex, he couldn't do any damage because he wasn't confident. He didn't have enough damage anyway. But M5 just bullying them around, diving in that back line.
20-minute mark. I would not be surprised to just see a surrender right here, actually.
Yeah, no, that would be kind of a likely situation at this point, but there it is. There's the surrender.
So M5 2-0 over alternate. If they beat Curse EU, they have won themselves a free trip, but there is still a matter of seeding for all the